All right. Hey, everybody. Mitch Broderick here with Platform. If you're here for the High Hanging Fruit webinar, you're in the right place. So definitely, we're going to get started here in a second, but you're definitely in the right place for the High Hanging Fruit webinar. And we're going to get started here in just about 60 seconds, and we'll hop right in. All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I know we've got some of you here. Some of you are going to start joining here in a second. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And so, welcome to the High Hanging Fruit webinar here that you've signed up for. I want to begin by just saying that obviously everybody joining us for the webinar is going to get the High Hanging Fruit book totally for free, and we'll tell you exactly the easy instructions for how to get that here in a little bit. But thank you and welcome for joining the High Hanging Fruit webinar. My name is Mitch Broderick, so I'm the one that you've gotten a lot of text messages from and emails from this morning, and certainly over the last couple days. So I'm the one who's been inundating your inbox, just making sure that obviously you'll join us here today. And so before we get started, I want to just tell you a little bit about myself and kind of do a proper introduction of Tim Shermack, who will be conducting the webinar today, because we work together really as a team. And so myself, I actually have been a licensed realtor for the past 6 years, and for 3 of those years, the first 3 I sold full-time in real estate, and then I kind of moved into a marketing career. Sort of a dream role opened up, and I ran with it before things kind of came full circle, and Tim found me and brought me on to help with the platform team here just about a year ago. And so I actually, as a realtor, have a lot of experience in marketing and growing a real estate business. And also I've been in your shoes where I have read every single marketing book that there is on real estate. I've paid for the seminars, I've done the webinars, and I've paid for marketing systems. And to this day, I haven't found a system that is more centered around relationship building and which actually works than the platform system. So this high hanging fruit methodology that Tim and I are going to go into today is the best system for generating leads and actually having those leads convert into into closings and settlements, but also creating a predictable pipeline at being produced by any other real estate system. And so I'm just really excited that you're all here on the webinar today to kind of learn about the high hanging fruit methodology. And certainly, we're giving away the farm here. So we're going to tell you exactly what we do to generate leads for our clients and to generate leads using a high hanging fruit methodology, so that you can walk away from this webinar with valuable information. So we really are giving away the farm and telling you exactly what we do. So with that said, I want to introduce you to Tim Shermack. Tim's going to be conducting the webinar today, and he's the author of the High Hanging Fruit book that we're going to give you a copy of here in just a little bit. And so, as I said, the high hanging fruit methodology, the book that we're discussing, these concepts, they are the best. It's the best system for a realtor to follow for generating leads in the modern era. And so, as far as building relationships and having a pipeline built that actually converts, I haven't come across anything better. And so, without delaying any further, I'm just going to hand it off to Tim here in just a second. And I'm going to be, just so that you all know, this is a live webinar. It is November 30th, approximately 1:34 p.m. Eastern time. And so this is totally a live webinar. So I'm actually going to stick around. I'm going to be in the comments if you have questions or responding to emails if you have questions throughout. So certainly be active over there. But that said, I am going to hand off here to Tim Chermak, author of High Hanging Fruit, and we're going to get cracking. So welcome, Tim.
All right, thanks, Mitch. Thanks. As Mitch said, everyone who joins us on the webinar today is going to get a free copy of my book, High Hanging Fruit. Totally free, no strings attached. You don't have to pay for anything. It's just totally free. So if you're on the webinar, later on, we will show you how to get a copy of that book totally for free. As Mitch also just said, this is a live webinar. So I don't want anyone here thinking that this is one of those, like bullshit pre-recorded webinars that we're trying to trick you into thinking it's live. It is 100% live. It is Thursday, November 30th today. I'm with my wife, actually. We're doing this webinar from a hotel in Miami because she convinced me to go to a Lady Gaga concert tonight. So to prove that it's live, if you want to hop on Google and just verify that there is a Lady Gaga concert in Miami the evening of November 30th, it is definitely a live webinar. It's not pre-recorded. So without further ado, let's dive into the content here, guys. Again, I'm Tim Chermak. I'm the CEO of Platform Marketing, and I wrote the book High Hanging Fruit. I'm going to dive into screen share here so I can hop into my slides, and let's start talking about what this high hanging fruit strategy is and how you can use it specifically to generate leads as we wrap up 2017 and we roll into 2018. Let me hop into screen share here. All right, awesome. And so again, everyone who's joining us on this webinar is going to get a free copy of my book, High Hanging Fruit. And right away, I hate when webinars just have fluff for the first 20 minutes. So let's dive in right away to the substance of what is high hanging fruit. So high hanging fruit is this idea that really runs contrary to what pretty much every real estate agent has ever been taught their entire career. High hanging fruit is this idea that we want to intentionally structure our marketing campaigns so that we're generating leads that are probably 4 or 5 or 6 months out, rather than getting leads that are ready to go right now. And so high hanging fruit is the opposite of low hanging fruit. Idea that we intentionally create marketing campaigns that will bring in leads that are 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months away from being ready to buy or sell. The reason we do that is the higher up the sales cycle that you can generate a lead. And so the farther away that the lead is from actually being ready to buy or sell, usually the cheaper the leads are. So for the same amount of money, you can generate more leads. And so if you have a finite marketing budget, whether you're spending $1,000 a month on marketing or whether you're spending $200, high hanging fruit is going to get you more leads per dollar. And it's always good to build a pipeline. That's what high hanging fruit is about. I mean, pretty much any agent, they probably know what deals they have that are going to close this month or next month, and they have that. But if they look ahead 90 days or they look ahead 6 months, they don't really know what's closing. They don't really have a pipeline built up unless they get lucky and they get some referrals. And that's a really uncomfortable feeling, especially as you're rolling into the winter season. I mean, especially if you're in a northern market, if you're in Ohio or Minnesota or, Montana or, Maine, some, state that's cold in the north in the winter, right? It's a really crappy feeling going into, November, December, January, February, not having a pipeline. Because it's very possible a lot of agents don't have any closings those months, and they have to essentially live off of savings that they built up from their GCI that was created in the summer. So high hanging fruit is all about building a pipeline. So again, it's this contrarian idea that rather than trying to generate leads that are ready to go right now, so like, a listing who's ready to list their house this week or a buyer who's ready to start house hunting this week, we would actually rather intentionally design marketing campaigns that are going to appeal to people that are 3, 4, 5, even 6 months away from actually being ready to buy a house or from actually being ready to list their house. Because if we can get to them early in the sales cycle, when they're quote unquote just doing research, right? If we can appeal to them and get them to opt in and give us their contact information early in the sales cycle when they're just doing research, it's very, very easy to cultivate and convert those leads so that when they are ready to go, they're not going to interview other agents. They're just going to call you and say, hey, I'm finally ready to list my house. Let's do this. Or they'll say, hey, I'm ready to start house hunting. Let's go start looking at houses, right? They don't interview other agents. If you can intercept the leads early in the sales cycle, that's what this whole high-hanging fruit idea is about. If you can intercept the leads early in the sales cycle, you'll never have to worry about losing out on leads to other agents or, having them interview other agents because they're your leads. So the reason I wanted to show you this text is because the last sentence there, my pipeline is full. So this is the text we got from a realtor in Florida, I think, actually. And I mean, yeah, they picked up a bunch of leads from our marketing system. That's all great. But the most important part is at the end. He says, my pipeline is full. That's what high-hanging fruit is all about. It's about building that pipeline so you never have to get nervous worrying, hey, like I have a closing this month, but after that, I don't know. I don't have any closings lined up, over the next couple months. So, realtors that work using this high-hanging fruit system, they always have a pipeline. And so it just puts a lot more scalability and predictability into your real estate business. So high-hanging fruit really isn't a tactic. And it's also not even really a strategy. High-hanging fruit is more of a philosophy. It's a new way of thinking about marketing. So again, it's not really a tactic. Like, for example, making cold calls is a tactic, or sending direct mail to a farm neighborhood, right? That's just a tactic. This is really above the level of tactics, and it's really even above the level of strategy. High-hanging fruit is neither a tactic or a strategy. It's really just a new way of thinking about marketing. It's about how can I provide as much value as I can to people really, really early on when they're just doing research, like they're super early in the sales cycle. Maybe they're 5 or 6, maybe they're even 7 or 8 months away from actually being ready to buy or sell. The earlier you can get them in to your database, the better. You can start cultivating them, earning their trust, and then converting leads is way, way easier. So here's a quick video. I mean, it's literally a 20-second video I want to show you from someone who actually just sent us this testimonial video within the last week. So this person watched our webinar actually just 2 weeks ago, and they sent this testimonial into us in the last week. So this is not something that's a year old or 6 months old. This testimonial video literally came in within the last week. Check out how many buyers and actually listings that this realtor picked up who watched this same webinar training that you're on today. So again, they sent it to us via a couple days right before Thanksgiving, actually, of this year. So this is a brand new case study, and I wanted to lead with this just so you guys realize that this stuff is working right now, even as we roll into the slower winter months.
Hi, this is Michelle Jones from Tennessee. I joined the platform webinar. I signed up, and my results for the first 10 days are that the 2 new listings ads that I ran with platform, I got both under contract in the same day. I also have 5 active buyers that I'm currently working with now, and I also have obtained 3 new listings.
Awesome. So again, that's a short and sweet testimonial video, but this happened in the last week. Okay, so this is all leads and business she created for herself after taking action from the ideas that we'll share with you in this webinar. It all happened in just the last week. Okay, so I know it's hard to believe. That's why we asked her to film a testimonial video, because if I just put all that in text, people would probably think I was making it up. So that's a real video. Her name is Michelle Jones. She's a realtor in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee, okay? Middle of nowhere. So this system works anywhere. You don't have to be in a big city. You don't have to be in a wealthy suburb. It's working even in rural Tennessee. So what we're going to talk about on this webinar today, the main thing we're going to talk about is lead generation and how we can apply this high-hanging fruit philosophy to specifically generating leads. I think the way most realtors generate leads and the way most actual marketing companies generate leads, even Boomtown, Commissions Inc., Curator, they have it all wrong. They're doing it really the opposite of the way they should be doing it. So I'm going to tell you why I think most internet leads are terrible, why most agents have such a big problem with fake leads, where they get, fake names, fake emails, fake phone numbers, So yeah, even if you're getting 100 leads a month from Boomtown or from Sync, you know, half of them are usually fake phone numbers, or they're, you know, fake email addresses where it's like fu@gmail.com, right? So we're going to show you how to get around that problem and actually generate real quality leads. Use Facebook ads to get leads. You can get a lot more targeted doing that. And then, of course, everyone on the webinar today is going to get a free copy of my book, High Hanging Fruit. So without further ado, let's dive into this. All right. This is a video I'm going to show you quick of Jonathan Garrick. He was one of the very first clients actually that I ever worked with, and I taught this system. Here's just a 20-second video of Jonathan talking about the impact that this book made on his business. So the book is High Hanging Fruit. That's the book that everyone today is going to get a free copy of. But he had read, you know, the books by Gary Keller, like The One Thing and The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. I feel like pretty much every realtor in the country has read those books. And those are great books for goal setting. Those are great books for kind of like getting yourself in the right mindset to be successful as a realtor. But for Jonathan, reading the book High Hanging Fruit is what finally gave him that practical, tactical plan for how he was actually going to achieve his business goals. You know, how he was going to generate enough leads to actually achieve the goals. Because it's great if you want to, you know, grow your business by another 100,000 in GCI. Or, you know, maybe you want to grow your business from 200K to GCI to 400. You want to double it, right? That's a great goal, but how are you going to generate enough leads to hit that goal? For Jonathan, High Hanging Fruit was kind of that missing link. It was the book that he needed that actually gave him the practical how-to and to generate enough leads so he could hit his goals.
Garrick, real estate agent in Southwest Florida with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm here today to talk to you about the book High Hanging Fruit and the platform system. And if you've ever read any of the books by Gary Keller, The One Thing or The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, they give you the real big picture thinking on how to come up with a business plan to grow your real estate business. This is the rocket fuel to that system, to actually how to market your business and yourself effectively. So definitely, if you're interested in this book, pick up a copy and also contact Platform. It was one of the best business decisions I've ever made.
Cool. Cool. So again, everyone on the webinar today is going to get a free copy of the book, no strings attached. It's not one of those bullshit things where you have to pay for shipping, or it's not buy one, get one free or anything like that. It's just totally a free copy of the book just for joining us on the webinar today. This is one last video that I'm going to show you guys as we dive in, just so you guys know how powerful this strategy is. Jose is actually a realtor in Colorado Springs. So I just showed you a video of a realtor who was in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee. This is in a slightly larger city, Colorado Springs. Just so you guys understand how powerful this marketing philosophy is. It's working in small farm towns. It's working in cities like Colorado Springs. It's working in everything in between. Jose actually has grown his business to where he's making over $750,000 a year now in GCI. Okay, he's making over $750K in GCI. Before he implemented this high-hanging fruit idea, Jose was making around $150,000. So it's literally added over $600K in GCI to his business. Again, like, that sounds too good to be true, which is why I asked these people to film a video, because if I just told you that, I would totally understand why you would just think I was lying to you, because it sounds too good to be true. So here's another quick 20-second video of Jose talking about how much his business has grown since he took action on this high-hanging fruit marketing idea.
Hey guys, if you're still skeptical about high-hanging fruit, let's just break down the numbers real quick. In 2013, I did 25 deals. I then implemented high-hanging fruit platform, so that you know. In 2014, I went from 25 to 50 deals. In 2015, I went from 50 deals to 70 deals, baby. And now in 2016, I'm making over 100 transactions, so that you know. And now that I have my team in place in 2016, just imagine what I'm going to do in 2017. Make it a phenomenal day.
Awesome. So, I mean, he's doing over 100 transactions a year. And what's interesting about Jose actually is he's not using any other marketing system. So he's not using, Zillow. He's not getting leads from Boomtown, Commissions Inc., Curator, like Realtor.com. He's purely just using this high-hanging fruit strategy, and that's grown his business to over 100 transactions a year. So please grab a pen and paper if you don't already have that. In case you haven't noticed, I talk fast. We're going to try to move through this training quickly. I value your time. you know, I know that you didn't come here to spend all afternoon on this webinar. Like, you want to get the meat, you want to get the substance, you want to get the practical, you know, lead generation marketing takeaways, and then you want to take action. So I'm going to talk as fast as possible, move through this. And so please, if you haven't already, grab a pen and paper so that you can take notes. So just super quickly about me. My name is Tim Chermak. The first book I published actually was Main Street Marketing. This is the book where I initially introduced my ideas for small business owners to generate leads for their business. It's for any like local brick and mortar business. That's who this book was for. So it was for, you know, if you owned a restaurant or a cafe or a car dealership or an ice cream shop, you know, just maybe you had an insurance agency. It's a, you know, a local furniture store. I had worked with some CrossFit gyms. Really any sort of locally owned small business. That's who I wrote this book for. But what happened was a lot of realtors read the book. So a lot of real estate agents read this book, and the results that they had when they implemented the marketing ideas in this book were just crazy. I mean, people were doubling their business, in some cases even tripling their business using some of the lead generation ideas I put into this book. And so what happened was I actually interviewed a bunch of those realtors, and so powerful, I decided to rewrite an entirely new book, this time writing it specifically for real estate agents. So the book High Hanging Fruit is not just a general small business marketing book. The book High Hanging Fruit is actually written specifically for realtors. It's a 200-page book. It's not like a 30-page book, or, you know, like you know, it's not a 50-page ebook download or anything like that. It's a legit 200-page book that I wrote specifically for real estate agents that details all the marketing strategies that we're going to be talking about in this webinar today. As we dive into this too, one more point, like you'll notice in the bottom right of all these slides here, you see that logo for Stands. Platform is the marketing agency that I founded, and we work with realtors, and High Hanging Fruit is the name of the marketing strategy itself. So often you'll hear me use the phrase the high hanging fruit strategy, or I might say the platform strategy. It means the same thing. So if I say high hanging fruit or the platform strategy, it means the same thing. High hanging fruit is just the title of the book, and platform is the name of the company I founded. So if you're interested in hiring Platform, you know, maybe we can talk about that later, but Platform is just a marketing agency where realtors hire us just to manage all their Facebook marketing and all their online marketing for them, so that they don't have to learn all this stuff. We just do it for them. So let's dive into this. The first thing I always talk about if someone hires me for like a consulting day is where to invest your time, to invest your money. At the opposite of what they should be doing. Most agents are investing all their time at the top of the funnel, and they're investing their money at the bottom of the funnel trying to buy leads, you know, from Realtor.com or buy leads from Zillow. And so really what we want to do is the opposite of what most agents do. So if you imagine that, like, you know, the sales funnel or the sales cycle, right? It's this upside down triangle, and it's widest at the top because that's where all the leads are coming in. And then as you get closer to the bottom, right, that's where the, you know, that triangle or that funnel gets more and more narrow, right? So just imagine that sales cycle or that sales funnel. It's that, you know, upside down triangle. Most agents are investing all their time at the top of the funnel. They're making cold calls, or they're attending networking meetings with BNI, or, you know, they're volunteering maybe at charities in their community to, you know, try to get noticed and be visible in the community, or they're, you know, really involved at church and they're trying to network that way. They're really investing their time. Probably the most common way I see agents do this when they're investing their time to generate leads is they're just time blocking an hour or two today to make phone calls, right? I see this often when an agent goes through the Bold class at like Keller Williams, right? And basically the most practical takeaway from agents who graduate from Bold is like, oh, I'm just gonna make a shit ton of cold calls every day, right? And they time block, right? For 60 minutes a day, or even for 2 hours a day, they're just cold calling FSBOs, and they're cold calling expired listings, and they're, you know, like signing up for a subscription with RedX or Vulcan, right? And they're getting their fresh list of expired listings and for sale by owners. They're just cold calling, right, for an hour or two every single day. So really the way that they generate leads is by investing their time, because it doesn't necessarily cost them anything to make a bunch of phone calls. It just costs them their time, right? So they invest their time to generate leads. And then with what marketing budget they have, you know, whether it's, you know, $2,000 a month or $200 a month, right? With whatever marketing budget they have, they're using that to generate leads at the bottom of the funnel, what I call low-hanging fruit. So as opposed to high-hanging fruit, low-hanging fruit are the leads that are ready to go right now, right? So if you're getting leads off of Realtor.com or off of Zillow, that's what I would call low-hanging fruit. Those are the leads that are typically ready to go out and like they want to see a house right away, or if it's a listing, they want to list their house sooner than later, right? The idea there is that these companies are selling you leads, like you're actually buying leads as if leads are a commodity, right? Like as if leads are a product. You're buying leads from companies like Realtor.com or from Zillow, and it's at the bottom of the funnel, but you're investing all your time at the top of the funnel trying to generate your own leads. The problem with this, obviously, is that if all your time is being invested at the top of the funnel, just making cold calls, your time is always the inherent constraint on the growth of your business. So I'll say that again. If you invest your time at the top of the funnel and you invest your money at the bottom of the funnel, your time is always the inherent constraint on the growth of your business. Like your time is always the limiting factor that's going to slow you down from growing your business, because let's just put some numbers to it. Let's say that you're making a bunch of cold calls, you've successfully, just been smiling and dialing, and you're calling expired listings every day, right? And you've grown your business to about 100K, right? You're making $100,000 in GCI. Like that's great. Like that's a successful business. Most agents don't make $100,000 a year. So that's great. The problem is, if you want to double your business and let's say get to 200,000 in GCI, like you want to, double your business, right? The inputs don't equal the outputs. There's not a linear relationship between inputs and outputs. So you can't just double the amount of cold calls you're making, So if you were previously making 2 hours of phone calls every day and you're making 100 grand a year, you can't just start making 4 hours of cold calls a day if you want to make 200K a year. The problem is, obviously, like you have to have some part of your day where you're actually being a realtor, right? Like if you're literally making calls for 4 hours every day, there's not a whole lot of time left over in your day to actually go on showings, negotiate contracts, go on listing appointments, like negotiate, go to home inspections, just all the work of being a realtor, right? So what we want to do in the context of high-hanging fruit, what has helped all these agents, all these like testimonial videos I've showed you so far, what helped them is just right away making the mindset shift that they're no longer going to invest their time to generate leads. They're going to build a marketing system where they invest their money generating leads so that they can invest their time only following up with warm leads that their marketing system has already warmed up for them. So you basically flip what most agents are doing. So instead of investing your time just cold calling a bunch of strangers, right, we're going to start investing our money at the top of the funnel to generate leads, so that we can invest our time only following up with warm leads that our marketing system already generated for us and already started cultivating. So, just how much different is your business going to be, right? If the only time that you're calling to follow up with leads, it's actually people who want to hear from you. It's leads who clicked on your ads and signed up, and they're actually expecting your call, right? So that's why this is such a game changer, because it's not like you have to start making 4 hours of cold calls a day or 5 hours of calls a day to grow your business. You can actually make as little as 1 hour of follow-up per day, because your marketing system is doing 90% of the lead generation and the cultivation for you, right? It's just that final 10% where you need to call the leads that your marketing system has already warmed up for you. So the only time you're ever going to be calling leads is leads that are already warmed up for you, right? Let's talk about why this is good, especially if you're on a limited budget. I also just want to mention, for the people that are just joining us that are a little bit late, free copy of the book High Hanging Fruit. So just by being on this webinar today, we are going to give everyone a free copy of the book. So as you build out this marketing system, and by the way, we are going to get into some of these specific Facebook ads to run too. So this is not just big picture theory, right? We're actually going to show you these specific Facebook ads that I would recommend setting up so that you can generate these leads, right? But the reason this works so well, especially if you're a realtor who's on like a limited budget, maybe you're not already super duper successful. Maybe you don't have a big team. You don't have thousands and thousands of dollars a month to spend on marketing. Maybe you only have $300 a month or $400 a month, or maybe you only have $200 a month, right, to spend on marketing. I love this high-hanging fruit philosophy because it's the most efficient way to invest your marketing budget. Pretty consistently, we are able to generate leads for people for about $5 a piece or less. Our average client is actually right around $4 a piece. And so every $100 they spend, because they're getting a cost per lead of about $4, they're literally bringing in 25 leads to 30 leads. So imagine how quickly you could grow your business if every $100 you spent on marketing brought in 25 to 30 leads. So that means, you know, if you spent $1,000 on marketing, you would literally be bringing in 200, 250 leads. Now you're getting an idea of how these agents have been able to double, in some cases even triple their business. We even have a couple case studies I'll show you of agents who quadrupled their GCI, right? But obviously not everyone quadruples their GCI, but pretty damn consistently, agents who use this system double their GCI. And the reason is, if you can consistently get leads for, you know, $4 a piece, your business moves forward very quickly, right? So again, even if you only had a budget of $400 a month, that means you're going to be generating 100 fresh leads every month, even with just a budget of $400. The reason this works so well is high-hanging fruit, right? Pretty much 99% of realtors out there invest their money at what I would call as low-hanging fruit, right? They're investing their money buying leads from Realtor.com or buying leads from Zillow. If 90% out there are chasing, you know, all the same leads, it's just a simple supply and demand problem, right? It's like junior high economics. It's what you learned about in like your very first ever like economics class in like middle school, right? If there's a finite number of leads, you know, but there's a ton of realtors that are bidding on those leads, that are trying to buy those leads from Zillow or Realtor.com or wherever, the price goes up, right? When there's more demand, but the supply is fixed, the price goes up. It's basic junior high economics, right? And what's happened over the last couple of years, what's happened over the last couple of years in the real estate industry, it's what I call the Google industrial complex, right? I don't know if there's anyone on this webinar who is using Google AdWords or pay-per-click, or you were doing online marketing 5 years ago, or maybe you were even advertising on Zillow, right? But if you've been doing online marketing, or you've been getting leads online, you know, from pay-per-click or AdWords for even just a couple years, you've definitely noticed that leads have gotten exponentially more expensive in just the last 2 years, like exponentially more expensive, not just a little bit more expensive, but exponentially more expensive, okay? The reason is, in the last, let's just call it 5 years. In the last 5 years, the actual rate of home ownership, like the number of people buying homes out there as a percentage of the American population. So this is like adjusted for population growth. It's on a per capita basis. The actual rate of home ownership in the last 5 years in the United States hasn't really changed. Like the same number of people are buying homes in 2017 as were buying homes in 2012, 2013, right? So the actual rate of home ownership really honestly like hasn't changed a whole lot in the last 5 years. So approximately the same number of people are going on Google, and they're going on Facebook, and they're searching, you know, for homes for sale, or they're searching for realtors. They're, you know, just doing research, right? However, what has changed is that in the last 5 years, there's been like an awakening, right, amongst realtors, that they realize, I have to be marketing online. You know, I have to be getting leads online, whether it's from Google pay-per-click or from Zillow or from Realtor.com, or maybe they signed up with Curator, or they signed up with, you know, a company like Commissions Inc. or Boomtown, you know, right? And what agents don't understand is that all of the companies I just mentioned, you know, Boomtown, Commissions Inc., even Zillow and Realtor.com, they're all getting those clicks. They're all getting those leads from the same place. Everyone is fishing in the same pond, right? Even if you think, oh, no, I'm not getting my leads from Google. I get my leads from Zillow, or I get my leads from Realtor.com, or I get my leads from Boomtown. Google is where all those companies are getting their leads from. So they're just a middleman for leads from Google. And so when you're paying, you know, like $2,000 a month for Boomtown, or you're paying $2,000 a month to buy a bunch of leads from Zillow, realize that Boomtown and Zillow are just buying low and selling high. They're getting the leads in the first place from Google, and they're essentially just reselling those leads to you at a profit. That's how it works, right? So when everyone is getting these clicks and the initial leads off of Google, but there's way more competition and there's way more demand for those leads from Google, the price goes up. So like I said, it's like basic junior high economics. The same approximately number of people are buying homes this year as they were 5 years ago, but what's changed is that there is way more many realtors trying to bid and trying to buy those leads on Realtor.com and on Zillow, so naturally the price goes up. I mean, anyone who's been using Zillow for even more than a year or two would know that, let's say that you were spending, I don't know, like $1,000 a month a couple years ago. You are getting way fewer leads today for $1,000 a month than you would have got a couple years ago, like way fewer leads. And so if you want to get the same number of leads from Zillow as you were a couple years ago, and this, same is true for Realtor.com, Boomtown, et cetera, you have to spend way more money just to get the same number of leads you were getting for. Because it's, again, simple supply and demand. There's way more realtors chasing these leads, trying to, buy leads from Zillow and Realtor.com, but there's a finite supply of leads, so the price goes up. So rather than fight that battle, and it's a losing battle, by the way, because you're never going to outbid Zillow. It's a $1 billion company, right? So there's no way that your website is ever going to rank higher than Zillow in the search rankings, right? Let's just play a different game entirely. Let's just change the rules and play our own game. So rather than competing and fighting over these leads, this low-hanging fruit, let's bring a ladder and let's climb to the top of the tree and let's pick the high-hanging fruit, right? Because at the top of the tree, on the upper branches, we don't have any competition there, right? We have no competition. No agents really have the patience or the vision to build a marketing system that generates leads that are 4 months out or 5 months out or 6 months out. So if you do that, a cool thing happens. You have no competition. And if you're buying leads, it's automatically a buyer's market because you're the only buyer, right? So if you think about it in those terms, if you're really the only person who's reaching out to people that are just doing research, right? Maybe they're 4 months away, 5 months away, 6 months away, and you're creating some Facebook ads that, for example, the Facebook ad might say, hey, if you're just doing some research and you're thinking about buying sometime in 2018, get my free report, right? And the actual Facebook ad uses the wording, hey, if you're just doing some research and you're thinking about buying sometime in 2018, get my free report, right? So even the way that you word the ads is super casual, just implying like, hey, if you're kind of just, casually doing some research, get this free report. That's what appeals to people that are 4 months out or 5 months out or 6 months out. So when you do that, the leads are way cheaper. I've even had agents get leads for as cheap as $2 a piece. And we'll show you some of those examples in this webinar this afternoon of agents that are getting leads for $2 a piece. And so, that's amazing. I mean, that means every $100 they spend on Facebook ads, they're literally bringing in 50 leads. I mean, you can see how it's actually not that hard to grow your business. It's not that hard to double your business or potentially even triple your GCI if every $100 you spend that you're bringing in 2 leads. Or, that you're bringing in 50 leads because the leads are $2 a piece. So this is a text message I wanted to show you. It's actually a realtor in Wisconsin. They texted me saying like, hey, I just followed up and got a couple pre-approvals for $400,000 leads. Like, this system really does work. The reason I wanted to show you this text isn't because it's a cool testimonial, like, which it is. It's cool that that this guy's successful. It's that he's literally 19 years old. This is a 19-year-old realtor in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. So he's 19 years old. He literally just got, he just graduated high school and he got his real estate license. And so if a kid who literally just graduated high school can follow this system and make money and generate leads, you can too, right? And so if you think about the path of your career, where most agents hit a plateau. I've observed thousands of agents since I launched Platform. I see it over and over and over again, that agents grow their business and things are going well, but inevitably they hit a plateau around 30 transactions a year. The next year they do 18, and the next year they do 32, but then the next year they do 31, and the next year they do 33. You know, they just can't quite get past that 30 transaction a year plateau. And the reason they hit a plateau at 30 transactions a year is that usually once you hit about 30 transactions a year, you start realizing that you're running out of time. Like, you literally just don't have enough hours in the day to handle more leads. So like, even if you had, you know, more leads coming in, it wouldn't even matter because you don't even have time to follow up with all them. So I've just seen this over and over and over again, that just with straight up hard work and with hustle and, you know, like just by, you know, making sure you answer your phone, right? And making sure you always text leads back if they text you, or making sure that you do open houses on the weekends and you sit your open houses and you follow up with all the leads that come in from open houses, making sure you're answering the phone when you get sign calls, right? I mean, just being a good realtor, putting in the time, you should be able to just pretty much organically grow your business to about 25, 30 transactions a year, right? Just with hard work, just with hustle. I mean, that's the popular word right now, right? Just with hustle, you can grow your business to about 30 transactions a year. But what happens is once you get there, you hit a plateau. Because getting to that point took hard work, but what gets you past 30 transactions a year, if you want to grow your business to maybe 50 transactions a year, or maybe you want to double your business and get to 60 transactions a year or beyond, you know, 70, 80, you can't just work harder. You have to start working smarter, right? So to get your business to the next level, you can't just double the inputs and expect the outputs to double. Because if you're already working 50 hours a week and you're making, you know, you're doing like 30 transactions a year, if you want to double your business from 30 transactions a year to, let's say, 60, you can't start working 100 hours a week because you're already working 50 hours a week. You just can't work 100 hours a week. It'd be impossible. So at some point, you can't just quantitatively change things. It's not a linear relationship. Something has to change qualitatively, and that's your marketing plan. You have to start relying more on a marketing system versus just working super hard and making a ton of cold calls, right? So here's an example of someone who worked with us that did this, and they actually quadrupled their business.
Hey guys, Paul Gillespie team at Keller Williams Gateway. Before I met Tim and implemented the platform marketing system, I was selling about 15 houses a year. Into it, the second year, I sold 25. This year, I'm going to sell 60, and then next year, our goal is to sell 100. So the platform system is a real deal. I could not have scaled my business so quickly without it. Thank you.
So again, that is Paul Gillespie. He's actually a realtor up in the Baltimore area with KW, and he actually quadrupled his business once he implemented the system. But for years and years before that, he had been stuck right around 20 transactions a year, 15 transactions a year. You just couldn't get past that plateau. Now he'll do over 60. So if you're just good at sales and you're willing to put in the work, you can get to about 30 transactions a year, because you can get to that just with hustling, right? However, if you want to really, truly build a business, like a business that exists independent of you, it's not about sales. It's not about hustle. It's not about, putting more work into it. It's about actually building a marketing system that generates leads 24/7. So that, here's the key. So if you're going to write something down, please write this down. The entire point of building a marketing system is so that you only have to spend your time following up with warm leads. If you can kind of rearrange things where you're not spending your time cold calling complete strangers, where your marketing system is actually generating the leads for you, so that you only spend your time following up with warm leads, a pretty cool thing happens. You can start only doing follow-up for like an hour a day, and you'll accomplish more than other people who are making cold calls for 4 hours a day, right? To expired listings and FSBOs and whatnot, because in that hour, it's just a quality over quantity thing. You're actually following up with warm leads who want to talk to you, right? So if you do that, that's how you double, that's how you potentially even triple your business, is by building that marketing system, okay? So I already talked about this a little bit. The way to generate cheaper leads is by doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing, right? So rather than bidding on Google pay-per-click or buying your leads from Zillow.com or Realtor.com or Trulia or, even sites like Sync or Boomtown or Curator, right? We want to build our own marketing system. I prefer using Facebook ads, by the way, for this, because Facebook is, let's just call it the new Google, right? Facebook is the wild, wild west of online marketing right now. Facebook is at a point in its platform that Google is probably at 7 to 10 years ago. So if you got in with Google, 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was great. Like the clicks were really, really cheap. There's plenty of agents out there who actually became millionaires just because they cracked the code on Google in the early days. And their website was always ranking the highest, and so they got all the organic search results on Google. But that was 5, 6, 7 years ago. Those days are long gone, okay? The new wild, wild west of internet marketing and of lead generation for realtors, the new wild, wild west is Facebook. Facebook is where Google was like 7 years ago. So Facebook, you're still getting clicks for as cheap as 20 cents a piece. We have lots of clients who get leads for $2 a piece, $3 a piece, $4 a piece, right? So even if it's on the higher end, and you're getting leads for $4 a piece, right? That means every $100 you put into Facebook marketing, it's actually bringing in 25 leads. And I'm not saying likes or comments, right? I'm saying actual leads. I don't give a crap about how many shares or how many likes or how many comments your posts get. That doesn't mean anything. What we're talking about is actual leads of people who click on your Facebook ad, and then we drive them to your website, and they're actually giving you their real name and their real email address and their real phone number. And so that's why I love Facebook, because right now the leads are so cheap. So just some inside baseball so you guys realize on this webinar that we're on right now, we used Facebook ads to promote this webinar, right? I think we spent about $1,000 on the webinar. We had about 250 people signed up. I think it was like 260 or something like that, but let's just say 250 people signed up. That's a nice round number. That means we averaged about a $4 cost per lead for this webinar, right? And we are targeting the entire United States of America, right? So if you're using Facebook ads just to target your local market, whether your local market is Jacksonville, Florida, or Memphis, Tennessee, or Salt Lake City, Utah, or Wichita, Kansas, wherever you are, right? Fargo, North Dakota, wherever, right? Your leads are going to probably even be cheaper than that, running a much more niche targeted ad. So on this webinar, we spent about $1,000, had about 250 people sign up. So our cost per lead is about $4 a piece. So I just want you guys realizing that we use this strategy ourselves because it works. I really believe in Facebook ads. I think if you got into Google ads and you had success 5 years ago or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, that opportunity is right before you right now with Facebook marketing. So let's dive into some specific examples of Facebook ads that are working right now for realtors around the country. Also, I just want to add, for anyone who joined us recently, you are going to get a free copy of my book, High Hanging Fruit. So we will reveal that in a little bit, how to get that book for free. So let's talk about some of the specific Facebook ads that are working right now for realtors. Like these specific ads you can use to generate 100 leads a month or 200 leads a month. So it all comes down to offering real value. If I could just narrow it down to one reason, like the one specific reason that most agents aren't generating leads with their marketing, it's that their marketing doesn't offer real value. So most agents, when they run an ad, right, all they're doing, they like run an ad that basically has their face on it, maybe their broker's logo on it somewhere just for compliance reasons, right? And there's not really a call to action, right? There's not really like, hey, click here to get this free report, or click here to watch this video. There's no call to action. It basically just says, hey, here I am, I'm the best realtor, or whatever tagline you have in your ads, right? It's not really offering anything of value. It's just bragging about you, right? Lead generation is as simple as offering something of value in exchange for the lead's contact information. So it's offering something of value in exchange for the lead's contact information, right? Where most agents screw this up is that they're not offering anything of value. Like they expect people to hand over their contact information. Like they expect people to go to their website, or they expect people to click on their Facebook ad and give them their name, their email, and their phone number without offering anything in return to the lead, right? So the way that, like, seriously, 99% of realtors are generating leads today in 2017, it really, fundamentally, it hasn't changed in the last 5 years. people have been doing the same thing where you drive someone to your website, right? And your website has IDX, whether your website's through Boomtown or Commissions Inc. or Real Geeks or IDX Press, or I mean, there's dozens of website companies, Playster, that sell like website systems to realtors, right? And so you drive someone to your IDX website, and then once they've clicked on a couple listings, or once they've been on your website for more than 20 seconds, I've seen some website systems that have basically a built-in timer that wants it to text that someone's been on your website for at least 20 seconds. Then all of a sudden, boom, they get a pop-up, right? And the pop-up asks them to register, to continue searching for listings, please register, create an account, right? And you force them to give you, their name, their email, and their phone number, or else they can't keep looking at listings, right? You force them to create an account. You force them to register. And that's how you think you're generating leads. The problem is that's not really offering anything of value to the leads, right? Like if you're forcing them to register just to look at listings, they're like, well, screw you. I'm just going to go to realtor.com, or I'm just going to go to Zillow because I can look at all the homes I want there, and they don't ask me to register. I don't have to give them any contact information, right? So like, why would someone go to your website and register and give you all of that contact information when they could just go to realtor.com and get all the same information for free without having to give any of their, name, email, and phone number? Like, leads don't want to give you their phone number, and their email address just for the privilege of looking at homes, right? Because they can get that elsewhere for free. So that is why we have like an epidemic right now in the real estate industry of so many realtors getting leads online, like getting leads from their website, whether it's from like your Sync website or Boomtown, whatever, and the leads are fake leads. It's fake contact information. Like they sign up and they give you they give you an obviously fake email address, like 1234@yahoo.com, or it's like fu@gmail.com, or the phone number is 111-111-1111, right? Like they're obviously just putting a fake number in there because they don't want you to contact them. They don't want you to call them. They don't want you to email them. They didn't want anyone to reach out to them. They just wanted to look at homes, right? So if that's the way that you're generating leads, it really shouldn't surprise you that people would put fake contact information, right? Because you're not really offering them anything of value in return for them giving you their contact information. It's not really a fair trade. It's not really a fair trade at all. It's really more of like a hostage situation, right? You're like, hey, give me all your contact information or else you can't look at any more homes, right? That's not really a fair trade. That's not offering real value. And the numbers, the actual statistics, like the website analytics for most real estate websites back this up. Most real estate websites convert at like 2 or 3%. That's an actual stat. That's the average. That's not me making a number up out of thin air. That's an actual stat. So the average real estate IDX website only converts at about 2 to 3%. So if you get like 100 visitors to your website, like 100 unique visitors, you're probably only getting 2 or 3 leads out of that 100. So, I mean, literally 97% of people who visit your website never come back and they never give you their contact information. So you're missing out on 97% of the visitors because it's such a terrible way of generating leads, right? So not only are you missing out on 97% of people who are going to your website, even the people who do sign up, like that 3% who does sign up, half of them are fake leads, like they're fake emails, fake contact information, right? So there's a better way. There is a better way. Offer real value in exchange for people's contact information. So one of my favorite ads is we offer a free report of, what's something that would be valuable to someone thinking about buying a house. Just think about it. Like, what would they be willing to give their contact information for? Like actually straight up willing to, hey, here's my real email address. Here's my real phone number. Here's my real name. Like, not fake email addresses. Here's my real contact info. One thing that's working really, really well right now, a home buyer report. I mean, that's essentially what we call it. We would call it like the 2018 home buyer report. And all that it is a one-page PDF of all the mortgage programs and home buyer discounts available in your area. So just make a one-page PDF of all the random mortgage programs that someone could qualify for, and maybe get it, all the down payment assistance programs, even include federal programs on there, like, like the like the VA program if someone's a veteran, or, you know, obviously FHA. If you're in a rural area, there's like the USDA programs, like for rural development, you know, the no money down programs. If your state maybe at the state level has down payment assistance programs, you would include that in there. Homes for Heroes, I mean, all sorts of random programs, right? Maybe your lender's company, you know, offers a down payment assistance package or discounts on closing costs or something or other, right? So all you do, like, you probably don't even have to do any research. If you're a licensed realtor, you probably know about all the programs available off the top of your head, right? So just write all them down in a one-page PDF. It shouldn't take you any more than like 5 or 10 minutes, right? Just make a list of all the existing home buyer programs that people need to know about, that they could potentially qualify for if they're thinking about buying a home next year. And then just type that out in a one-page PDF. And then let's say you're in Madison, Wisconsin. Here's the ad, right? Here's the actual Facebook ad. You know, hey, Madison, if you're doing some research and you're thinking about buying a home in 2018, I've created a free report. And then usually we'll put the word free in all caps just so that word pops out to people in the Facebook ad. I've created a free report of all the home buyer discounts and programs available. Go to www.madisonhomebuyerreport.com to download your free guide. And so, you know, again, here's what the Facebook ad would say. Hey, Madison, you know, again, assuming you're in Madison, Wisconsin. So if you're in Charleston, South Carolina, it could say something like, hey, Charleston, I've created a free report of all the home buyer discounts and programs available for those thinking about buying a home in 2018. Click here to download the free report. And then you just build a simple landing page, you know, www.charlestonhomebuyerreport.com, right? And all that you're sending people is just a one-page PDF of all the various home buyer programs and whatnot that's available, because that's actually valuable. That would save them hours and hours of research. If someone truly is thinking about buying a home next year, they would totally be willing to give you their name, their email, and their phone number to download that guide. But it's not like you're sending them some huge detailed analysis report. It's just a one-page PDF, right? It takes you, what, 5 minutes to type that out? That's a great way to generate leads. That particular ad, usually what we do is we target people over the age of 30 with that, with a Facebook ad. And then we just, you know, say, hey, if you live in Madison, target people in Madison over the age of 30, right? That's a great ad. Typically, we get leads for about $3 a piece with that ad. So that's, again, it works because it offers real value. The webinar that you're on right now, like, is proof that this principle is truth. I mean, you're on this webinar right now on Thursday, November 30th, right? You're on this webinar right now, this live webinar, because we offered you real value. We didn't just say, hey, invest your afternoon joining us on this webinar just because, right? Like, I'm not stupid. The real reason you're on this webinar is because we're giving away a free book, right? Everyone on this webinar is going to get a free copy of the book, High Hanging Fruit. That's the real reason you showed up. That's the real reason you were willing to give us your name and your email and your phone number, is because we said, hey, everyone who joins us will get a free copy of the book. So we're offering real value, right? That's the reason that everyone's on this webinar. As a real estate agent, you have to think about your marketing. Are you actually offering real value in your marketing? Or are you just asking, kind of like expecting people, almost like you're entitled? It's like an entitlement attitude. Are you just expecting people to give you their name and email and their phone number just because, right? You have to do something to earn it. You have to actually offer, if you're expecting people to give over their name, email, and phone number. So another really effective ad is actually writing a book. I've had some realtors write a book about their market. You know, so let's say that you're in Santa Fe, New Mexico, right? You could write a book like How to Buy a Home in Santa Fe, or The Ultimate Guide to Santa Fe Real Estate. You actually write a book, and then you give away a free book in a Facebook ad, right? That's a really effective ad. You can have free book for Santa Fe home buyers, and then the phrase free book is all caps. So free book for Santa Fe home buyers. You know, go to www.santafehomesbook.com to get your free copy. You know, read this book before you buy a home in Santa Fe, right? So again, that is the exact wording that we use in ads for clients who have written a book. The book can be 40 pages long, it can be 100 pages long, it can be 200 pages long, as long as it's a real book, right? And you're not lying to people and you're saying it's a book when in reality it's just a 5-page brochure, right? the free book strategy works insanely well. The other reason I love the free book strategy is that you can get people's full contact information. Because if you're actually going to send them a physical copy of the book, you don't just need their name and email. You actually need their mailing information, like their actual address where they live. So you're getting full contact info if you offer a free book ad on Facebook, where the Facebook ad says, hey, free book. If you're thinking about buying a home in Santa Fe, get this free book at santafehomesbook.com. Read this free book before you buy or sell a home here, right? And then they land on the landing page and you're asking them not only for name and email, but name, email, address, and a phone number, because you need to know where to ship the book. Like if you're going to send them an actual physical copy of the book, you need to know where to send it, right? And with both of these, with the home buyer, with the home buyer report I mentioned, with the free book strategy, you're going to get real email addresses. You're going to get real phone numbers. You're going to get real names, because if they put a fake email address, they're not going to get the report they requested. If they put a fake address, they'll never get the book that you promised to mail them. They have to put their real name, their real address, right? Or else they won't get the book. And so that's what solves the problem of getting real leads, is that you need to actually offer something of value and make it clear to people that, hey, I'm going to send this to you, right? I'm going to send you this free book. Just tell me where to send it. It's just implied. It's just assumed that, like, you obviously can't put a bullshit email, or you can't put a fake mailing address, because I'm going to send this book to you. And if you want it, like, you have to give me your real address so I know where to send it, right? And so that solves the problem once and for all of fake contact information, fake leads. So if you guys want examples of more ads that we've successfully used at Platform, just go to platformmarketingpdf.com. and you can grab that free report there of 5 additional Facebook ads right now. And by the way, if you go to platformmarketingpdf.com, guess what? We're going to ask you for your contact information, right? And the reason this works is I know that lots of people, right as I'm speaking right now, are probably going to platformmarketingpdf.com and you're signing up for it, because that's a fair trade. Right? Like, you probably think, hey, it's totally worth giving my name and email so that I can get those 5 specific Facebook ads, right? It's a fair trade. And you're going to put your real name and your real email address because you actually want that free report, right? And so, let me share with you one more of my favorite Facebook ads that's working right now. Before we get into the final section of this webinar, let me share one more specific example of a Facebook ad that's just killing it. Right now. It's actually called the Acreage Homes List. Okay, so the Acreage Homes List is a Facebook ad where essentially what we do is we're offering a free report of all the active listings in your area that have acreage. And so if you're in a rural area, maybe you would define acreage as any listing that has more than 1 acre. If you're in a more urban environment, maybe you would define acreage as anything that has more than half an acre, or maybe even anything that's more than 1/3 of an acre, right? So it totally just depends on your market. But we create a Facebook ad where it says, let's say you're in Fargo, North Dakota, right? It would say, like, attention, Fargo, if you're wanting to buy a home that has some acreage, get our free report at www.fargoacreagehomesreport.com. We'll send you a free report of all the homes for sale currently in Fargo that have at least 1 acre of land, right? And so the reason this ad works so well, people are clicking this Facebook ad, they're signing up because they want to get a free report of all the homes in Fargo that have acreage, right? The reason I love this ad isn't because we're trying to get, buyers that are trying to buy land. It has nothing to do with that. It's that it's a stealthy way of generating listing leads. It's a stealthy way of generating listing leads. Because if you just, if you step back and you logically think about this for a moment, it pretty much never happens that someone who is a first-time home buyer goes out and buys a house with, like a couple acres of land. That basically never happens, right? Almost every time, if someone's buying a house with half-acre land, or they're buying something with 2 acres, whatever, they already own a house. And this is going to be a move-up purchase for them. So they're upgrading into something bigger that has more land, right? So 99 out of 100 times, if someone is requesting this Acreage Homes report because they're interested in potentially buying a house with with some land, right? 99 times out of 100, they are a move-up buyer. They have an existing house that they would need to sell. So that means that even though this Facebook ad didn't mention anything about listing or anything about selling, we kind of secretly know that everyone who's opting in that's clicking on this ad is going to be a seller lead. So it's kind of like a twofer. You're getting listing leads and buyers. And so pretty much across the country, whether you're in Tennessee or you're in South Dakota, North Dakota, New Mexico, Kansas, Texas, California. I mean, I've seen this ad work in literally every single state that we've had a client in, this acreage homes list. And again, it's not because we're trying to get buyers who want to buy land, right? It's because we know that everyone who clicks on it, just statistically, there's a 99% probability they already own a house. And so we're kind of like generating listing leads by proxy, right? So all these leads coming in are actually seller leads. Or else they wouldn't be interested in buying a move-up house with land. So I love that strategy. That's another Facebook ad. Usually we target homeowners over the age of 30 with that particular Facebook ad. And that's an ad that we run for our platform clients all around the country. So all the people at Platform, all these realtors that have just hired us, their marketing for them, that's one of our most winning ads we've ever run in the history of the company. Those leads pretty consistently come in for actually like $2 a piece. So I know I said earlier that a lot of our clients are getting, leads for $4 a piece. Well, that particular ad, the Acreage Homes Report, gets leads for as cheap as $2 a piece. And they're seller leads too. So imagine how quickly you could grow your business if you were getting quality seller leads for $2 a piece. So that's the power of this high-hanging fruit strategy. If you just think about it, you think big picture, how can I generate leads of people that are in that doing research phase? You can grow your business really quickly. Again, as we wrap up here, I'm going to be sharing in a few moments how to get a free copy of the book High Hanging Fruit. I know there's been some people that have asked, and so we're almost done here where everyone is going to get a free copy of the book High Hanging Fruit. But the next reason I love this High Hanging Fruit philosophy, because your marketing system is generating all the leads for you, all you have to do is follow up with warm leads. The only time that you are ever picking up the phone to call a lead is when the marketing system has already warmed up the lead for you. They've already probably seen some of your retargeting ads. They've seen the initial text message or email that went out. You're not a stranger. So it's not cold calling, it's actually warm calling. Like your marketing system has already warmed up the lead for you. They're actually expecting your call. Usually what we do when we build out these ads is say like, hey, here's the phone number I'll be calling from. Expect my call in the next day. And so when you call them, they're actually like, oh, yeah, I've been waiting to get your call. So it's not a cold call at all. It's a warm call. So because your marketing system is doing 90% of the work for you, the last 10% where you actually call the leads to follow up, the leads are already warm. They were literally waiting for you to call them, right? So that means when you get on that phone call, you can focus on just building a relationship. You're just super casual. You're super chill, right? You don't need to use any of these awkward, Tom Ferry sales scripts, where you handle objections and you have this just kind of like manipulative, sleazy, salesy script, right? Like for those of you who have come out of the world of, like Bold, right? Or you're just spending 2 hours a day cold calling expired listings, or you're cold calling for sale by owners, right? You have that old, that awkward sales script where you're saying, hey, I might have a buyer. When's a good time I can come by and check out your house, right? This just awkward sales script where like the person doesn't want to talk to you. You hate calling them, but it's just law of large numbers. If you make enough phone calls, eventually you'll get an appointment, right? Anymore. All these case studies, all these videos, all these realtors we've been telling you about that are using this high-hanging fruit idea, they don't make cold calls, right? They're running successful real estate businesses where they're making 200 grand a year or 400 grand a year or 500 grand a year in GCI beyond. Like Jose, like I said, he makes 750K a year in GCI. He's not making any cold calls. The only time Jose ever picks up the phone to call a lead is when Platform has already generated the lead for him. It's already warmed up the lead for him. He only calls warm leads, right? So the cool thing about it is you can actually build a relationship with these people, because when you call them, you're not having to trick them, right? You're not having to use like a sales script, and you're not having to handle any objections or anything. You know, like if they downloaded your free report, the call is as simple as like, you know, hey, Bill, I'm just calling because I saw that you downloaded my free report. Just calling to confirm that you got the report that I emailed over to you. Bill, have you seen the report that I emailed you? And Bill might say, yeah, I have. And then you say, okay, great. Well, you know, I was just calling to confirm you received it. Cool, cool. So Bill, you know, were you thinking about maybe buying a home next year? Or, you know, what interested you in the report? That's all you have to say. And then you just shut up and you're silent, and then they'll tell you what their plans are, right? So it makes follow-up a lot easier, and actually converting leads much easier when you can just focus on being casual and building a relationship, like versus hard selling, you know, versus having to use these like manipulative cold call, you know, phone sales scripts because you're calling expired listings and people who don't want to talk to you, right? So again, the entire point of this is you build a marketing system that actually generates the leads for you, so that when you do call, you're spending your time only calling leads who actually want to talk to you, right? So here's a quick video of Brandon. Brandon is a realtor in the like way outer suburbs of the Denver area, and he'll share how this platform, how this high-hanging fruit system got him a listing of over $400,000. And it wasn't just because of leads. It wasn't because he was making a ton of cold calls. It was because the marketing system warmed up a lead for him, you know, using our platform retargeting system. And it ended up in him getting a $400,000 listing. So again, it's about building a relationship with people over time within the context of this high-hanging fruit idea. And eventually, when they're ready to go, they'll contact you and you'll get the business, whether it's a buyer lead or, in this case, a listing lead.
In 2016, my team's going to do over 40 lead gen deals. It's not just all about the leads. We're walking up to a listing I have where the owner saw me in a retargeting campaign through a market update video, and now I've got a $450,000 listing. This whole high-hanging fruit marketing campaign strategy, it really works.
Awesome. I love having that video play until the dog barks there, because I just think it's hilarious. It's an actual listing that Brandon told him, and you can see his sign in the yard there. So that's a $400-something thousand listing that he got from this high-hanging fruit, from this platform strategy. And so, as I mentioned, you can cultivate many leads at the same time. If what you're doing is just cold calling for leads, whether you're calling FSBOs, you know, for sale by owners, or if you're cold calling every day, calling expired listings, you are always limited by the number of hours in your schedule. Because if your lead generation is only occurring when you're cold calling, you know, expired listings, the growth of your business is dependent on you cold calling for 2 hours a day. So if you want to grow, you need to start making 3 hours of cold calls a day, or 4 hours, right? Eventually, you just run out of time. There's no way that you could make, you know, phone calls for 4 hours a day and actually have any time left over to be a realtor, right? Like to go on showings, to go on listing appointments, to like negotiate on behalf of your, you know, your sellers and your buyers, to go to home inspections, attend closings, not to mention have a life, right? Like the whole goal here is to grow your business and to make more money and actually work less, hopefully, not more. So the other just lifestyle benefit of high-hanging fruit and this platform strategy, the lifestyle benefit is that you can grow your business while actually working less. In a minute here, I'm going to show you how to get a free copy of the book. But after I do that, I'm going to show you a video of Danny Springfield. And Danny's a realtor in Texas who's actually added, I think, $7 million in sales volume to her business. And she's actually working less now. She's spending more time with her family. And she'll go into more detail in that video about how she's done that. But the point is, if your marketing system is doing 90% of the work for you, so your marketing system is generating the leads, the marketing system is warming the leads up through a combination of Facebook retargeting ads, follow-up, through text message follow-up, then the final 10% is when you actually, you know, make phone calls to follow up with the leads. But the cool thing is, if your marketing system did 90% of the work for you, the final 10% is just calling warm leads. It's calling leads that actually want to talk to you. So in the end, it's all about quality over quantity. Do you want to put more quantity and more hard work into your business, just working longer hours, working more hours, working nights and working weekends? Or do you want to have a reasonable schedule where you're only working 40 to 50 hours a week, but because you're, putting a lot more quality into those hours, you could actually grow your business while working the same or even fewer hours? It's all about quality over quantity. And that's true of leads too. We want quality leads, not just a quantity of leads. And so you'll find that when you generate leads this way and you're actually getting real phone numbers, real email addresses, whether you're using the Acreage Homes list, we have a pool homes list ad. That's a great Facebook ad where it's a free report of pool homes in the area. The same principle applies, right? It's not that we're specifically trying to generate, pool home buyers for any reason. It's that we know that most people buying a home with a pool are not a first-time home buyer. They're typically a move-up buyer. So that means that when we run this pool homes report ad on Facebook to get leads, pretty much 99 out of 100 of those leads, they're sellers. They have an existing home that they would need to sell because they're moving up to, a nicer, more expensive home with a pool. So that's another great ad. But the point is, it's quality over quantity, right? When the leads are actually giving you real phone numbers, real names, real email addresses, it makes follow-up a lot more enjoyable. It makes follow-up a lot more enjoyable because when you're calling people, they actually answer. When you email the leads or you text the leads, they actually text you back, right? So as I wrap this up, this is the last analogy I want to give you, and then I'm going to show everyone how to get a free copy of the book High Hanging Fruit. So the last analogy I have here I call fishing upstream. What this means is, like, you look at just the big picture of your business, the big picture of your real estate career, and you realize that basically everyone is fighting over the low-hanging fruit. All the realtors out there are dumping all their marketing budgets into Zillow and into Realtor.com, and they're fighting over the same finite number of leads. It's like if you and some buddies went fishing, right, and you're in the river, and you've all cast your lines in approximately in the same area, and you're just a couple feet away from each other, right? So essentially, because your lines are all cast in the same area of the river, it's a zero-sum game. Like, you're all fighting over the same fish, essentially. Like, if you catch a fish, it means your buddy can't catch that same fish, right? Because you're all fishing in the exact same area. It's a zero-sum game. Any fish that your friend catches is a fish that you can't catch. Any fish that you catch, you've now caught that fish and they can't catch that fish. So it's kind of like nobody wins, right? It's a zero-sum game. What would happen, though, if you walked 100 feet upstream and you cast your line in there? What would happen is you would catch all the fish before they ever got downstream to where the rest of your friends are fishing, right? If you cast your line in upstream, you would intercept all the fish before they got downstream to where the competition is, right? So it wouldn't be a zero-sum game anymore. You would just catch all the fish. You would get them before the fish ever got to where everyone else is. You can do the same thing in your lead generation. You can fish upstream. So what High Hanging Fruit is about is, it's November right now. It's basically almost December, right? So rather than fighting over the leads that are going to be ready to go in the month of December, what if you built out a marketing system where the entire point was, hey, I want to generate leads that are ready to go in January. I want to generate leads that are ready to go in February and even into March, right? If you built out that system and you fish upstream, you are going to intercept all the leads before they ever get to the point where, they hop on Zillow and they enter their contact information, and then boom, they get just inundated with calls and emails from other realtors, right? So before they even get to that point, if you can generate the lead early in the sales cycle, you intercept the lead, you build a relationship with them, and then before they would ever get to that point where they would go on Zillow, they would just call you up and say, hey, I'm ready to look at homes. Let's get started. Or if it's a listing lead, they'd say, hey, I'd like to have you officially come over to my house. Let's talk about listing my home for sale, right? So if you intercept all the leads before they ever get to that point, you never have to worry about other realtors because you'll always have a massive pipeline of buyers and sellers that aren't going to interview other agents. They're just going to work with you. So it's fishing upstream, right? So how to get a free copy of our book is go to www.highhangingfruitbook.com, right? It's not highhangingfruit.com. It's www.highhangingfruitbook.com, okay? You can get a free copy of the book there, no strings attached. You don't have to pay for anything. It's just www.highhangingfruitbook.com. I'm going to show you this video, and then I'll show you that slide here. So this is a video of an agent who hired Platform to manage all her marketing for you. I mentioned earlier in the webinar that Platform is actually the company I founded where we just manage all of your digital marketing for you. So maybe you don't want to learn advanced Facebook ads. Maybe you don't want to learn how to build your own landing pages and how to set up the, the acreage homes list and how to split test the ads or how to set up the pool homes list. Maybe you just want to hire someone to do it all for you so you can have, 200 leads come in a month and just all you have to do is follow up with the leads. That's what Becky did. So this is Becky. She actually lives in Naples, Florida, and that's not a typo. It says she added 17 million in sales volume to her pipeline. That's not a typo. She literally added 17 million to her pipeline when she decided to hire Platform. So I'm going to show you this quick case study as we dive into the final portion of the webinar here. I mean, this is, again, like it almost sounds too good to be true, which is why I got her to film a video of it, like, so I'm not lying to you. She added 17 million to her pipeline.
Hi, I'm Becky. I became part of Platform in January and became full-time with it about 6 weeks ago. I have my first closing in a few days with the Platform lead, and they're downsizing, so I'm actually also listing their home, which is over $1 million listing. So this is just one of the many leads that I have with Platform. I have over $17 million right now in the pipeline from buyers and sellers from now until probably next year, early next year, that are looking. Platform's been the best for me. It's the best, most successful thing that I've seen out there. The guys behind the scenes doing all of the back end things are just amazing. The support is phenomenal. Without them, I would not have the success that I'm having and will have on it. I'm very thankful to be part of the Platform family. Thanks. Bye.
Awesome. So again, if you want to get a free copy of our book, High Hanging Fruit, just go to www.highhangingfruitbook.com and you can get a free copy of the book there. That book reveals, a lot more of the strategies of people who have doubled, even tripled, and there's a couple of people that actually have even quadrupled their GCI. So highhangingfruitbook.com. Now, I want to share with you a little bit more about what Platform is. I mean, you've seen that Platform logo in the bottom of all the slides. I'm sure you're probably wondering what the heck is this, right? Platform is a marketing company where we manage all of your marketing for you. So if this webinar was interesting to you, if you want to start generating 200 leads a month or more, which is, by the way, the average for our clients. Our average Platform realtor brings in about 200 leads a month. That's the average. That's not like a best case scenario, or that's not me trying to cherry pick the very best example ever. The average realtor that works with Platform gets at least 200 leads a month. And so if you're interested in hiring us just to manage all of your Facebook marketing for you, to set up all these ads for you, so all you have to do is just follow up with the leads that come in every month. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that this afternoon. I want to show you a video of Angela, though, because this is the results that she's created in just her first 60 days using the Platform marketing strategy. So Platform is a marketing company where you just hire us to do all this for you. If you don't want to learn advanced Facebook ad strategy, if you don't want to learn how we set up like the dynamic follow-up emails and the follow-up text messages and the retargeting videos on Facebook and the retargeting ads and all that stuff for you. Seriously, we're probably actually the best in the country at it. So Platform is a company you can hire us to manage all of this for you. And actually on the webinar today, you can sign up for a trial month. If you go to our website, it's actually platformrealestate.com. You'll notice that nowhere on that website is there any discount. There's no mention of a trial or anything. But if you're on this webinar today, you can actually sign up for Platform on a special discount trial month. So before I share any more details about the Platform marketing system and how you can hire us, I want to share with you this video. Again, this video is not 2 years old. It's not a year old. It's not even 6 months old. I was literally sent this video this morning. It is, again, this is a live webinar, so it's November 30th today. I was sent this video this morning. This is Angela. She's actually in like Boise, Idaho. And Angela signed up for Platform 2 months ago. Testimonial came in today because she signed up in September. So this is the results that she's generated in just her first 2 months using Platform. 2 buyers and 2 listings. So again, if you're interested, go to platformmarketmap.com and you can see if your market is available, because we actually only work with 1 realtor per market. So Angela here gets the entire Boise market. We don't just work with 1 realtor per zip code. She actually gets the entire city of Boise plus a 15-mile radius around Boise. So we're an incredibly exclusive company, but that's why the marketing works so well, is she gets the entire city of Boise plus a 15-mile radius all to herself. So if you're interested in hiring us, if you're interested in signing up for that trial month, if you want us to set up all your Facebook marketing for you, just like we did for Angela here, go to platformmarketmap.com and you can just see if your market is available or if we already have a client in your market. Because if we do, then sorry, you can't sign up because we only work with 1 person per market. So check out this video. This is just a crazy case study. Again, it came in today, literally today. This is the results that Angela has experienced in her first 60 days with Platform. So all this results came in the first 2 months.
Just hit my 2-month mark with Platform and wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how that's gone for me. I've had over 450 leads funnel in over the last 2 months, and the last week has been absolutely insane for me. I've got 2 buyers that I'm actually working with right now. One is contract pending, and the second we're in contract negotiations with still, hoping to get them wrapped up by the end of this week. And I was able to get a seller, her 2 condos sold before I even got listing paperwork out on them, which is absolutely insane, and I'm super excited about. They're a fantastic company. I was really looking for a marketing tactic or tool or like map on how to market myself in an era when there's so many different people pulling at our consumer from so many different angles, and I wanted to set myself apart, and Platform has been able to allow me to do that, and I owe a huge debt of gratitude to them. In the month of December, I'm looking at closing at about $11,000 in commissions, and I didn't have that on the books before I started with this company. So
that's amazing. I want to stop her video right there, like in case you didn't hear that. When she signed up in September for a Platform, she didn't have any deals in her pipeline. So she was like going into the holiday season, like literally worrying like, where is the money going to come from for our family? And in just her first 60 days, she's already lined up enough deals to where I think she'll have some closed in January and February too. But right away, even in the month of December, she already has $11,000 closing from Platform business in just her first 60 days. So Angela hasn't been a client for a year. She hasn't been a client for 6 months. She's only been a client for 60 days. And she already has all this business coming in just her first 2 months. So I wanted to point that out because that's incredible. This is not something that takes 6 months to work. Platform starts working right away.
On how to market myself in an era when there's so many different people pulling at our consumer from so many different angles, and I wanted to set myself apart, and Platform has been able to allow me to do that, and I owe a huge debt of gratitude to them. In the month of December, I'm looking at closing at about $11,000 in commissions, and I didn't have that on the books before I started with this company. So I want to tell them thank you so much. It's been absolutely great. I can't wait to see what 2018 has in store for me. It's going to be an absolute rodeo. Of those 400 leads, I've had probably 20 say that they're wanting to purchase a house this coming spring, and I'm actually talking with all of them, and we're setting up home searches and kind of getting the ball rolling. I think it's crucial to kind of get going with your marketing in the winter months when it's slow, because people are looking to see what they're going to do for this next year during those time frames, just like what we are, gearing up for what next year has in store. And I think it's a good idea to get out ahead of them early and do that with your business, and Platform has been able to help me do that, and I can't wait to see what this next year brings. I love that they're exclusive to 1 agent per market. That's the other thing, and there is such a huge network of other agents that are doing this exact same thing in different markets that are very similar to ours or mine, and it has been a great resource to help me kind of, pave the way to make sure that I'm successful. And Platform 2 has made sure that I've got all the tools at my disposal to make sure that this is a success and I continue to see a great return on my money. Check them out. You won't be disappointed.
Again, so that's Angela. She's in the Boise area. She was on this exact same webinar that you're on right now. So she was on this same webinar like we did this same webinar back in September. We did a live webinar. So she signed up for Platform for her trial month after that webinar. And these are the results that she's experienced in her first 60 days using the Platform marketing strategy. So again, I just want to repeat that. She was watching this same webinar training that you're on right now. She decided to take action. She signed up for the trial month. And all of this results, I mean, 2 buyers, 2 listings, this happened in her first 60 days using the system. So if you're interested, if that resonates with you, if you want us to manage all your marketing for you so you don't have to worry about it, like Angela did. Angela just hired Platform to manage all of her marketing for her so she can just spend her time following up with warm leads. She made that decision 2 months ago because of the same webinar that you're on today, and this is the results she's had in just 2 months. So that's usually the most common question we get is like, yeah, how long does it actually take to start working? Because I can't wait 6 months or I can't wait 5 months for it to start working. The honest answer is it starts working right away. I mean, I think Angela mentioned early on, but she has, I think, 400 something leads in her first 2 months. So she's actually bringing in more than 200 leads a month using this system. So if you're interested in hiring Platform to manage your marketing for you, like we do for Angela, here's what to do. Go to www.platformmarketmap.com because the first step is just finding out if your market is available. We only work with 1 realtor per market, and we're very, very strict on that. And so even before you would ever, schedule a sales call or anything with us, the first step is just to find out, hey, do we already have a client in your area, or is your city available? Right now, just so you know, most markets in the US are available. So Platform is not a huge, huge company, like Zillow or Boomtown or Commissions Inc. We actually only have about 100 clients, or actually maybe we have like 110 now. I think we have 110 clients around the country. So we're not some massive company that has thousands and thousands of realtors, right? We only have about 110 realtors working with us around the country. But before you ever, call us or, schedule a sales call or anything, the first step is just to find out if your market is available or if we're already working with someone in your area, because we're very, very strict on that. We only work with 1 person per city. So again, it's not just 1 realtor per zip code. It's literally 1 person per city. So the next video I'm going to show you, is Danny, and Danny is actually in San Antonio. Again, Danny doesn't just get 1 zip code in San Antonio. Danny gets the entire broad San Antonio area, including the suburbs. Okay, so we're very, very exclusive in that regard. So in this video, Danny's going to share how she's making more money now and she's actually working less. She gets to spend more time with her family. She's making so much more money now that actually her husband quit his engineering job just so she could start spending more time with the family, so he gets to work with her every day. Her husband was making enough money as an engineer that he even quit that job because Danny's real estate business has grown so much that their family can afford to do that now because of Platform. So check out Danny's story and then just realize that she has all of the San Antonio area. So Platform is very, very exclusive. That's what makes the marketing system work so well, is that there's not a bunch of realtors like your competition running the exact same ads as you, because we only work with 1 realtor per market. So again, as I show you this video, if you're interested, if you want to find out more, just the first step is, go to Platform Market Map and then just tell us where you are and we'll tell you if your market is available. So www.platformmarketmap.com.
Hi, I'm Danny Springfield. Mansfield in San Antonio. My platform story starts, I've been in business and real estate for about 5 years. When I signed up, I was plateauing at about 13 to 15 million a year. I had another agent on board with me, but I knew that we could get a little bigger and do a little better. Most importantly, I wanted to do that in a scaled fashion. So signing up with Platform enabled me to build my business to about $20 million a year, but where I'm spending more time. I have 3 little kids where I'm spending more time with them. My husband actually left his engineering job to join my team, and that godsend for our family. Our quality of life has increased.
And so I don't know if you caught that, but she said her husband actually quit his engineering job to join her team. So that's how much her business has grown, is that their family now has the money where they could afford to have her husband quit his engineering job just so they can now spend more time with each other. So, I mean, that's amazing. So Platform isn't just about, you know, growing your business and making more money. It actually really increases your quality of life too, because you don't have to spend hours every day cold calling expired listings. We deliver warm leads to you. All you have to do is follow up with warm leads.
But where I'm spending more time, I have 3 little kids where I'm spending more time with them. My husband actually left his engineering job to join my team, and that has been such a godsend for our family. Our quality of life has increased dramatically, and we owe a lot of that to Platform. The biggest change has been the quality of leads, so you're not spending all your time chasing ones that aren't very good. And maybe even most importantly for me has been that Platform, it gets me in front of my sphere for referral business so easily with very little effort on my part. So I'm a happy client. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, and I'm really just thankful to be part of the Platform family. Thanks.
So this year I actually talked weeks ago. This year, Danny's business is on pace to do about $20 million in sales volume. Prior to hiring Platform, she had never done more than about 12, or I think it was like 12 to 13 million. So Platform grew her business from 12 million, let's say, to $20 million in sales volume, and she's actually working less now that her business is doing $20 million than she was before, when it was doing about 12. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. Again, like the reason that we have these stories on video is because if I just told that to you and didn't actually show you the video, you probably wouldn't believe me. It sounds like it's too good to be true. So if you want more information about hiring Platform to do your marketing for you, like Danny hired us to do her marketing for her, go to platformmarketmap.com, and that's where you can get more information about the trial month. The trial month is just $500. That's all we charge. So $500. If you're willing to invest $500 in your business for the trial month, you could accelerate your business to the next level like Danny did. The other cool thing about Platform is we don't have any contracts. I know that's probably a question that a lot of you are thinking right now, is like, yeah, but do I get locked into, you know, a 12-month contract or a 6-month contract or anything like that? No, you don't. We have no contracts whatsoever. So you don't have to sign up for an annual thing. You don't have to sign up for a 6-month contract. We don't even have a 90-day contract. We have no contracts whatsoever. Okay, so when you sign up, it's totally month to month, no contracts, no risk. So that's just a philosophical belief, I guess, I have as a business person, that I believe that if you're a marketing company and I'm sitting here telling you that I believe we can grow your business, we can generate leads for you, you know, we can help you make more money, why would I ever feel it's necessary to lock you into a contract? So when I founded Platform, because I am actually the founder CEO, this is a point of pride for me. I wanted to start a company that wouldn't require us to lock anyone into a contract. Because if we don't have to have contracts, that means that we're growing our business, you know, our Platform business. It means that we are growing our company on the actual strength of our product, right? We're not just getting people to sign up and locking them into a 12-month contract or locking them into a 6-month contract. Like, we've all heard the horror stories of someone who signed up, you know, for Realtor.com or for Zillow Leads, and they won't let them quit, right? Even when it's not working, they won't let them quit because you signed up for the contract, right? Well, Platform is different. Just philosophically, I don't believe in contracts. I think that we should have to earn your business every month. And the only reason that you should stay with us is if it's working. So Platform has no contracts whatsoever. And then on top of that, you can sign up for a trial month right now. So we'll give you a huge discount that first month, and you have the peace of mind of knowing into anything, right? There's no contracts whatsoever. So the question you're probably wondering right now is, how quickly does it start working? Because even if platform doesn't have contracts, I can't afford to, do this for 2 or 3 months or 4 months or 5 months if I don't get closings right away, right? Here's this video I showed you before. It's literally just a 20-second video, but this is Michelle. Here's the amount of business that she had come in her very first month. 90 days. This isn't the first 2 months. This is the business that Michelle had come in from her platform leads in her first 30 days using platform. Again, the reason I have this on video is because it almost sounds too good to be true. But this is Michelle Jones. She's a realtor in Tennessee. This is her platform story of what happened in just the first couple weeks she started using the platform marketing strategy.
Hi, this is Michelle Jones from Tennessee. I joined the platform webinar. I signed up, and my results for the first 10 days are that the 2 new listings ads that I ran with platform, I got both under contract in the same day. I also have 5 active buyers that I'm currently working with now, and I also have obtained 3 new listings.
So she got many active buyers. At the end there, she even says she got new listings. So platform isn't just for buyer leads, right? I think there's a stereotype out there when realtors, work with marketing companies, or they're buying leads, from Boomtown or Commissions Inc. or Curator or like Real Geeks, or even Zillow or Realtor.com, right? There's a stereotype that all it is crappy buyer leads. That's not the case with platform. We have actually cracked the code on how to consistently get you listing leads too. So even if what you want is sellers, platform can get you listing leads too. So notice at the end there, she says that platform is getting her not just buyers, but also listings too.
That I'm currently working with now. And I also have obtained 3 new listings.
That's amazing. I mean, if it weren't on video, it almost sounds too good to be true, right? So here's another awesome video case study. This is Paul Wilson. Paul is not in Idaho. He's not in Tennessee. Paul is in Jacksonville, Florida, right? Paul is consistently getting listing leads. Here's another example of someone who isn't just getting a bunch of buyers. He's getting both buyer and seller leads. So as I play this video, again, if you're interested, go to platformmarketmap.com. The first step to just get more information about what the platform system is just to find out, hey, is your market even available, right? Because before you ever schedule a sales call with us or anything like that, what we want to do is first be able to tell you, hey, is your city even available? Is your market even available? Or do we already have a client in your area? Because if we already have a client in your market, like, sorry, we can't work with you, right? So this video I'm showing you right now, this is Paul Wilson. He's in Jacksonville, right? So if you're watching this and you're in Jacksonville, Florida, it's like, sorry, we can't work with you because Paul is already our client there. And again, we don't just do it by zip code. Paul gets the entire overall Jacksonville area, right? So he gets the entire market, not just a zip code, the entire market. So if you're interested, you want to take advantage of that trial month, go to platformmarketmap.com and you can inquire about that. Again, the first step is just to find out, hey, is your market available? So platformmarketmap.com will tell you if your market is available. And that's the first step. Seriously, it takes 30 seconds to do it. It's not a 5-minute application or anything. It literally takes 30 seconds to go to platformmarketmap.com. In fact, you probably could have already done it in just the time I'm talking here. So as I play this video, go to platformmarketmap.com and you can see if your market is available for platform, or if we already have a client in your area.
Good afternoon. Paul Wilson with Paul Wilson Properties, RE/MAX Unlimited in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. I was asked to give a short testimonial as to the success I'm currently having with platform. It's been a few months now that I've been using the system and really implementing it into my daily routine. Since doing so, I'm on track to close a year, approximately 50,000 GCI greater than the previous 2 years. Most of my business since starting in 2000 has been basically referral driven, not really used much of the lead generation sites. So this has been a really new venture for me, and it's been absolutely amazing and wonderful. I have received over close to 250 potential prospects in my pipeline currently. But from the advertising and the videos, I've recently just secured a commercial listing and 2 other residential listings simply from people that have seen.
So again, notice he says he's getting listings. It's not just buyer leads. Platform's getting him buyer leads and listing leads.
Currently. But from the advertising and the videos, I've recently just secured a commercial listing and 2 other residential listings simply from people that have seen my video and have reached out to me personally. I highly recommend Platform. Meet with a marketing person weekly that has been absolutely tremendous.
Oh, actually, as he says that, like one thing I didn't mention is one thing that makes Platform like a little bit unique relative to other marketing systems out there, you know, like other marketing companies that work with realtors, you know, so like all the names you've probably already heard of, you know, Boomtown and Curator, Commissions Inc., you know, all these other companies. Platform actually does one-on-one personal coaching calls with all of our clients every single week. So it's a one-on-one personal call with you. It's not a group call. It's not a group coaching call with like 100 people on the call. You know, it's actually a one-on-one call where we coach you on how to follow up with the leads. We give you updates on how the Facebook ads are doing. I mean, honestly, it's like having a marketing department. That's how most of our clients would describe it. Is it's like when I hired Platform, it's like a personal marketing department, because you know, in addition to setting up all your Facebook ads and doing all the Facebook marketing for you, we even do a one-on-one personal phone call with you every week. Again, not a group coaching call. It's a one-on-one personal phone call with you and us every week. So that's what Paul was talking about there is that one-on-one call. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but Platform even edits all of your videos for you. So all the videos you film every month, whether it's a market update video or a listing video tour, Platform has a full-time team of video editors. We will edit all of your videos for you. So it's seriously like hiring a full-blown marketing department on retainer. Like, not only will we even set up all your Facebook ads, we even edit all your videos for you. It's like a marketing all-you-can-eat buffet.
A marketing person weekly that has been absolutely tremendous and uplifting and keeping me motivated and structured to achieve success. I look forward to many years with Platform, and hopefully next year I will see double to triple my GCI from the previous 17 years. Well, consistent years. So thank you for watching and have a great day. And if you are considering Platform, I highly recommend giving them a chance. Also, if you'd ever like to reach out to me to speak to me, please feel free to. Have a great day.
Again, that's Paul Wilson. Like if you want to go up online and look him up, like just to verify that he's legit, right? Go ahead. Like go on Google, just search for Paul Wilson. He's a realtor in the Jacksonville area. I think he's with Remax. So again, if you want more information, just go to platformmarketmap.com. The first step is just finding out, is your market even available, right? Because we seriously are really strict. It's not like a BS false scarcity thing. I'm not trying to scare you into signing up. Like seriously, we actually only do work with one realtor per market, so we're very strict on that. So before we'll even hop on the phone with someone, we first want to find out, hey, is your market even available, right? So to find that out, it'll just take 20 seconds of your time. Go to platformmarketmap.com. And so here's yet another video of someone bragging about the results they got in their very first 30 days. This is Jeff Downing. He is a realtor up in Iowa, so he makes a little joke about like the cornfield in the background there. But this is a video of him he filmed in his very first month with Platform. Okay, so these are the results he created inside of his first 30 days. So it's not something that takes 3 months to start working, or 4 months to start working, or 5 months to start working. This is the results that Jeff experienced in his very first month using Platform. And if you're on this webinar today, you could actually take advantage of our trial month. Okay, so we have no contracts whatsoever, like no contracts whatsoever. We're the only company that does that, to my knowledge. So no contracts, and you can take advantage of the special trial month that we're offering right now. So this could be you in 30 days. Here's Jeff's story. Here's the results that he created, all the buyers and listings from the platform marketing, you know, from the ads that we set up for him in his very first couple weeks.
Hey guys, Jeff Downing here. I'm in Des Moines, Iowa. As you can see, the corn's growing right behind me, so I am definitely in Iowa. Just hit my 30-day anniversary with Platform, and I want to share with you some of my successes. First campaign, first night it's going, and wake up, my phone's got a full contact lead. Name, number, address, and then down at the bottom, the most beautiful thing in the world, it says, yeah.
So notice that he's getting leads with name, emails, and phone numbers, right? Platform isn't just a bunch of crappy names and emails. It's names, emails, phone numbers, and they're actual real phone numbers, real emails, because all the strategies I shared with you on the webinar of how we generate the leads, that's what we do for our clients. And so we really have this down to a science.
Contact lead, name, number, address, and then down at the bottom, the most beautiful thing in the world, says, yeah, I'm looking to buy a house in the next 90 days. We were able to get their home listed and get them upgraded in house. Both those houses went pending just last weekend, which is about $14,000 in GCI off my first day in my first month here in Platform. Also had a call, hey, love your video. We're looking to sell our house and upgrade. So just last night was on a listing appointment for $425,000. That's an at-bat I would not have had without Platform. I've also added literally hundreds of contacts into my drip camp.
So you heard him say there, he's getting listing leads, right? So it's not just buyers, he's getting buyers and sellers.
And into my SOI. So that's been really, really cool. Finally, I love talking to my account administrator once a week. David, if you're out there, man, you're the best. Love chatting with him every Monday. We can look at the effectiveness.
So again, notice there that he makes a reference to that personal call. That's something we do with all of our clients every week. You get a one-on-one personal phone call with us. It's not a big group coaching call. It's a one-on-one phone call with Platform. That's another huge reason all these realtors are consistently doubling their GCI, or sometimes even tripling their GCI, is we're not only managing all their ads for them, we're also coaching them every week with a one-on-one phone call. So it's very, very personalized. Like, we actually know our clients. We have very personal relationships with them. I still know our clients on a first name basis. So it's not this, we're not a huge company like Think or Boomtown, where you don't know anyone. Like, we will actually get to know you because we're talking to you on the phone every week. So that's how we're able to, double people's businesses over and over and over again, is because we stay in very close contact with you with that weekly phone call.
David, if you're out there, man, you're the best. Love chatting with him every Monday. We can look at the effectiveness of the ads, my ad spend, and he's also helped me with scripts, when to call back, what to say, email returns. Just get rejuvenated to start the week after talking with David every Monday. So that's been my experience with Platform. If you want to know more, please look me up.
Awesome. So again, platformmarketmap.com. This video right here may be my favorite all-time video I'll show you. So for those of you that are still on the webinar, seriously check this out. This is amazing. This is Justin Liller. And Justin's business, he actually just sent me an email today because I told him I was doing a webinar. And so I asked him, hey, what are your, what are your results so far this year? Justin just sent me this today. So let's see here. So far this year, Justin is going to do 12 million in sales this year. His best year ever before Platform was 7 million. So Platform's almost doubled his business from 7 million to 12 million, right? Wow, he has $500,000 buyers, $700,000 listings, $1 million listings. It's absolutely crazy. So I'll show you this video, but Justin literally just emailed me today, as in he emailed me today, Thursday, November 30th, 2017. And he said, hey, last year I did 7 million. This year I'm on pace to do over 12 million. And so here's his story. He actually says in here that this is just so cool, because I take this as a matter of pride as, the founder of the company Platform. I'm the CEO. So I take this stuff personally. I really want our clients to be successful. It's not just a business, I want our clients to be successful. So it's really cool knowing that his family, that, his business has grown that much. So he says it's the best investment he's ever made. That platform is the best investment he's ever made. That's a huge compliment. That's just so cool that he would say that. So check out this video. This is one of my all-time favorite video case studies. Justin Liller is a realtor in Deep Creek Lake, Maryland.
Hey guys, I'm Justin Liller with Rayleigh Realty at Deep Creek Lake, and I want to share my experience so far since joining Platform. Back in January, I flew down and met with Tim, and he showed me kind of the basics of Platform, which I implemented right away and saw some pretty good success with. So at the end of May, I became a full Platform family member. So it's been a little more than 30 days, maybe 40 days since I joined Platform, and I've seen some really incredible success. I'm picking up between 4 and 6 full contact information leads per day off of the ads that I run on Facebook. I can directly relate 3 listings back to my Platform ads that I've been running. They range anywhere from $150,000 to $800,000. I have had 2 closings from that, $175,000 closing and another at $850,000. And then I have a property under contract with some folks that opted into one of my ads at $1,550,000. So, you know, it's an incredible, incredible value that they offer at Platform. The return on investment is going to be absolutely huge. And I could not recommend joining Platform anymore. Like it has been by far the best business decision that I have ever made. So I've been implementing the Platform strategy since January, but only been a full Platform member since the end of May. And as of last Friday, I had 2 closings last Friday. As of last Friday, for 2017, I've already exceeded my GCI that I had in 2016. So I have no doubt that this is going to become my best year ever. And I think that, you know, if you follow the strategies that they talk about, it could be anybody's best year ever. You've got to film the videos, you've got to do the follow-up, and the buyers and listings will come. You know, it's been incredible. Over the holiday weekend, I had 5 people walk up to me and say, "Hey, you're that guy from the Facebook ads, the videos. I watch, you know."
And so notice he says there that people are starting to recognize him in his area, that people will walk up to him and say, "Hey, I've seen your videos all over. Like, you're the guy from Facebook." Because Platform not only is generating leads for you, we're also running retargeting ads that allow you to build a brand in the area. So people will start recognizing you even completely independent of the lead generation ads. And so that's a cool thing that starts happening, you know, once you've done this long enough. It's all part of the high-hanging fruit strategy. So again, Justin has grown his business this year from $7 million to he'll do over $12 million this year. That's a pretty significant jump, going from $7 million to $12 million, and it's because of the Platform marketing campaigns.
You know, it's been incredible. Over the holiday weekend, I had 5 people walk up to me and say, "Hey, you're that guy from the Facebook ads, the videos. I watch all your home tours. I love it." And, you know, it's that kind of stuff that maybe doesn't show up in your GCI right away, but over time it will, because people are going to, you know, when they're ready to buy, they're only going to think of you because you've built that trust and you've given them something to watch while they're bored at work or sitting at home, and they absolutely love it. So anyway, I can't thank Platform enough. I couldn't be happier. And if you're on the fence about this, just do it. You're not going to regret it. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. So I'm going to skip ahead actually to, there's so many more case studies I could show you. Here's another one who added over 100K to his GCI. This is Micah Gravsgard, added over $100,000 in GCI. But I'm going to skip ahead because I want to show you a video of Debbie Kaler. And Debbie actually went from being broke, I mean, literally was almost bankrupt, to the fact that she now is like the top agent in her market. So I'll show you that video of Debbie here as we wrap up, because it's almost hard to believe. It's almost hard to believe when you hear the story of Debbie. Debbie, the first house that Platform helped her sell. This is crazy. I mean, it's like seriously like a rags to riches story. The first home that Platform marketed with a Facebook ad for Debbie was actually her own home because she couldn't afford to stay there anymore. She was about to lose her house. The bank was about to take her house. And so she sold it so she wouldn't have to go through like a foreclosure. So that's how poor, honestly, that's how broke Debbie was when she first hired Platform. And within just a couple months, we turned around her business to the point that now she just bought a brand new truck. She bought a brand new $500,000 lake home. Her business has actually grown that much. Again, it sounds too good to be true if we didn't have it on video. So that's why I want to show you the video. This is it's like a classic American rags to riches story. So it's so cool that we actually hired a film crew to create a movie about Debbie. Like her before and after story of working with Platform marketing is just so inspiring, honestly. So I'll show this to you. And again, if you're interested in hiring Platform marketing to manage your marketing like we did for Debbie, just go to www.platformmarketmap.com to get started and to find out if your market is available. So if you're on this webinar, again, we are offering a trial month where you could check us out on that trial month. We have no contracts whatsoever, so you have nothing to lose. So as you watch this video of Debbie's story, if you haven't already, go to Platform Market Map.
Okay, so I love this car. I've always wanted a Jeep Rubicon, always. Never thought I'd be able to get one, especially that I could just write out a check for, actually. But I was in Platform for about 6 months when my other car actually blew up, and I just kind of thought, what am I doing? I can afford what I want. So drove onto the lot with that wreck and drove off with this Rubicon with only 6 miles on it, which was a fantastic day.
And so I want you to meet Debbie Kaler. The Platform strategy literally rescued her career. After the housing market crashed, she was struggling to make a living. Now she's driving a brand new car, bought a new lake home, and business is better than ever. Her story is just incredible. So I'll let her share the details. This is the power of the Platform strategy.
Hi, I'm Debbie Kaler. I'm a realtor in a very small town in west central Minnesota. Population just a little over 2,000. So it's a tough market. We have a lot of agents around here. In fact, I would say we are saturated because everybody for some reason thinks that real estate is the fast, easy money, easiest thing you can get into. So I got into real estate in 1990 and always did pretty well, probably in the top 10, 15, and then the market crashed. And being a single person, that was tough. I ended up losing my house, my car, pawned all my jewelry. I literally had nothing left other than the clothes on my back.
So, as I said, Debbie's story is one of the coolest Platform stories I've ever heard. After 20 years in the business, things were so slow, she was about to quit real estate entirely and find a new career. She was applying for jobs around the country, just trying to find something to pay the bills. And then she discovered Platform.
So thinking this is it, I have to get out of real estate permanently. Loved it. They found out my story and they said, you know, we have this young guy that does marketing for us, you should give him a try. So I was desperate and I decided, all right, I'm going to meet him. It turns out his name is Tim Schumack. And he came over and talked to me and started telling me about Platform, and I thought this is entirely too good to be true. There's no way anything is that good that's going to take me from about being homeless, literally homeless, to actually being able to stay in this business and make it. But humor me, I'll listen to him. So I meet him. He gave me the good sales pitch. Out of frustration, I hired him. And only because that day in the mail, the very last check had come from my retirement account. Very last check. And I knew it wasn't going to carry me through anyway, so what's the big deal? I might as well gamble. I threw it at him and said, all right, big talker, you think you can do this? Do it. I bet it was 3 weeks later, leads started to come in like crazy. and they started rolling in. I'm not kidding. And pretty soon I didn't have time for that other job I took. I was back into real estate. And here we are 2.5 years later. And I went from number 47 in my association up to number 2.
So Debbie went from having no money, literally losing her home, to being the number 2 agent in her entire association. I love the authentic example of the power of platform. The entire community noticed how quickly Debbie built her brand. Remember, building your business is as simple as building a list of people who trust you. Not just a database, but a list of people who trust you.
So one of the fun things with platform was I had so many friends say, you know, when the market crashed, we thought you were done. That was it. We thought your business was going under, that you were done, no more, Debbie. And it's like you came back with a vengeance. All of a sudden we see videos all over the place and your signs are going up all over the place. And now you're really showing other people how it's done. I actually had a couple of my competing agencies come and try to recruit me with their company. To which it's like, no, I turned them down. I mean, they're like, don't you want to work for, and then they'd say their name because they're bigger names in the area. I don't have a big name. You know, Lakes Area Realty, Debbie Kaler Real Estate. You know, I don't have the big banners, the big balloons, anything like that. And it's like, you know what? I don't need you. I'm doing fine on my own. They didn't like that very well, but I've pretty much buried most of them, which is a great feeling. And it's all because of platform. I went from, said, bottom of the barrel, thinking that I was going under, to a place I never thought I would be. And it's because of the marketing. And that happened rather quickly, actually. I would say within 3 months, people started to make comments about, wow, you came back strong. And by 6 months, it was, wow.
Amazing. So let's take a behind the scenes look at Debbie's office and get a feel for what her daily routine looks like when the leads are flowing in.
So I just want to give you a behind the scenes look at what platform has done for me. Just in this last week, I've gotten 3 pages of leads. The ones that are crossed off are the ones that I've actually come in contact with, I've had phone conversations with, or even met them for coffee. I've got 2 listing appointments out of it so far, and for sure 1 buyer, probably 2, maybe even 3. So it's been great that way. It keeps me busy. It keeps me in contact with people. But I really want to show you personally what it's done for me. So my dream car was always a Jeep Rubicon. And after working with Platform for...
And so this is kind of cool. Debbie actually shows you the brand new car she bought, and then she'll actually show you this $500,000 like luxury lake home that she bought after her business grew so much. So she'll actually show you that just to prove, you know, that her business has just taken off since she hired Platform.
For, I don't know, about 6 months, I was finally able to get one. Brand new, right off the lot. And it only had 6 miles on it. So it was glorious. Working with Platform and really working the program. If you work it, it works. So if you've been in it and say that it doesn't work, it's only because you're not doing anything with it. I have proof, because what I'm going to show you is the property I was able to buy, and it may not be huge, but it is on a premier lake. It's on Green Lake, which used to be the 2nd purest lake in the world. It's completely renovated. I can't wait to show it to you. So, you know, we're going to go there right now and take a look.
You know, I'm reminded of that classic quote from Zig Ziglar. You can have whatever you want in life if you'll just help other people get what they want. This is the very essence of the platform strategy. Just serve people. Before you ever ask for anything, provide value. Be the most helpful real estate agent in your market. As you'll see, it worked for Debbie, and it can work for you too.
I paid plenty for it just because it is where it is. But it is a Frank Lloyd Wright house, which does mean something, so I wanted to keep his design. And that's another reason I renovated what was there instead of tearing it down.
it is a $500,000 house in a community where everything, the average price is $150,000. So it's an accomplishment. I never thought I would be able to do that. So we're almost at my humble cottage. So not only was I able to buy this new car, but Platform also allowed me to buy my new lake home.
So here she actually goes inside and shows you the house that she got. It's pretty cool.
So this is the lake home that I bought, and I was able to renovate the whole thing. What we're standing in was actually just a screen porch. Going into the kitchen, I was able to put in all new countertops, new flooring, all new appliances, took out some walls, added some windows, opened up the living room. This was a couple tiny rooms before. But what I love about this place is this epic view of Green Lake and the platform. I get to enjoy it every day.
So that's awesome. I'm actually gonna fly back here because I wanted to show you one more video for those of you that are still with us. This is Brandon. Brandon's a realtor in the Denver area, and he'll show you his office, his actual whiteboard where he's mapped out all the transactions he's doing this year specifically from Platform. He's actually tracked. He'll do over 40 closings this year specifically just from Platform leads that Platform got him from Facebook ads. So I'm not saying he'll do 40 total deals. I'm saying that if from his sphere, and referrals and stuff, maybe he's doing 15, he's doing an additional 40 on top of that just from leads that Platform got him. So he actually walks and he shows you his office here, and you can just see on the whiteboard all the leads. Like, I mean, the whiteboard doesn't lie. That's how much Platform has grown Brandon's business.
First introduced the whole online lead platform system, I was skeptical. Now, a year later, we're closing 40 deals in 2016. This is all due to the online marketing platform. For example, we have our buyers meet us in this building, which gives us instant credibility. Because when you meet somebody on the internet, you never know if they're real or not. So when you come to a building like this, people come in here, they want to work with you, they realize you're real, and then you sign them up as a client. Come with me to the office. For example, we are closing 11 deals in June alone, totaling over $4.5 million. That is an incredible number, and about half of that came directly from the platform system. Now over here is the stuff you can't fake.
And so again, like, look at that. Like, he's actually showing you the whiteboard of all these leads he has. Like, the whiteboard doesn't lie.
That is an incredible number, and about half of that came directly from the platform system. Now over here is the stuff you can't fake. This is our pipeline. This is ready buyers who've been pre-approved. They want to go searching, they want to go shopping, and they want to buy a home. 50% of these guys are all coming from our platform system, and it's proven the high-hanging fruit mentality, the system, the platform leads, it really does work, and it's real.
Awesome. So in Brandon's words, it really does work, and it's real. So, I mean, the numbers don't lie. He added over 40 closings to his business last year just from Platform. So thank you guys. I want to thank you for your time. Again, if you want more information, the first step, like even before you schedule a sales call or anything like that, is just go to platformmarketmap.com just to find out if your market is available. If your market is available, then we can totally send you more information on how you can check out that special discounted trial month. So you can try a trial month. Again, we have no contracts whatsoever, so you don't have to sign anything. There's no long-term obligation, long-term contracts. Platform marketing proudly is just a month-to-month service. We don't have any contracts whatsoever. And as the founder, I'm really proud of that, because that means that all of our clients stick with us, not because they're locked into a contract, but because it actually works. It actually generates leads and their business is growing. So check it out. Platformmarketmap.com will tell you if your market is available. And if it is, you can try us with a trial month. So thanks, guys. See you soon.